Okay, follow me. Before we talk about Erislandy Lara versus Yuri Foreman, I want to read this to you. This is from Boxing Scene. It's dated July the 29th, 2016. It was written by Victor Salazar. Okay, so let me see how long this is. Yeah, I can read this. Okay, follow me. Erislandy Lara is fighting Yuri Foreman on January the 13th, 2017 in Miami. Yes, Yuri Foreman. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. In a stacked 154-pound division, Erislandy Lara, 23-2-2 with 14 KOs, has been reduced to fighting Delvin Rodriguez, Jean Tevek, and a rematch with Vinicius Martirosyan. Lara was victorious in all three bouts, but one must wonder when his next fight will be on the horizon. According to his manager, Luis de Cabras Jr., the plan is to return in the fall. One possibility is the winner of Saturday night's fight between Sergey Rabchenko, Tony Harrison. I'm going to pause right there. Tony Harrison won. Remember, this article is from July the 29th of 2016. He's fighting Yuri Foreman on January 13th, 2017. Right now it's December the 16th, 2016, 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. We're looking at a November or December date, the manager told BoxingScene.com. We're looking to see who fights him. A good possibility would be the winner of Rabchenko Harrison. He just has to keep winning and big fights will come. He's fighting Yuri Foreman. This article is from July 29, 2016. Lara has been vocal about fighting the most feared middleweight in the world, IBO, WBA, IBF, WBC champion Gennady Golovkin. According to the manager, there might be a plan to move up to 160, but not just yet. Okay. So Erislandy Lara can do all this pump faking all he wants on Twitter and social media because he knows that fans and supporters of his and detractors of Golovkin is going to just eat this all up. I mean, just going to eat it all up. But the fact that his manager is saying, nah, we're not going to 160 right now. Lara knows this. If Al Heyman wanted to fight, it would happen. Thank you, Al Heyman. If Al Heyman, the advisor, the man who controls Erislandy Lara's career, wanted him to fight Golovkin, it would happen. All right? People say, why does he fight Kell Brook but not Erislandy Lara? If he wants to fight Golovkin, then move to 160 and tell your manager to make the fight. Show up at a Golovkin press conference. Show up at the Danny Jacobs press conference. If Danny Jacobs wins or loses, show up like you did to Canelo. You was hungry for that fight. Show up and, get the fight. Put him in a tough situation where he has to fight you or not. Okay, so moving on. I'm going to read that paragraph to you. I'm going to read that little section to you again. This is from Boxing Scene. This is a writer who did an interview with the manager of Erislandy Lara. Lara has been vocal about fighting the most feared middleweight in the world, IBO, WBA, IBF, WBC champion Gennady Golovkin. According to the manager, there might be a plan to move to 160, but not just yet. Lara is the type of fighter that doesn't need to fight 3 fights to move up in weight, explained to Cabras Jr. When the gates open at 160, he'll move up, whether it's Golovkin or a rematch with Canelo, Danny Jacobs, Billy Joe Saunders. There's a lot of big fights out there, but now he's going to keep defending his titles because he wants to break the record of most title defenses. The industry speculation is that Al Heyman advises his clients to avoid fighters on HBO, but that theory has been debunked this year. You saw Amir Khan and Dominic Wade on HBO, said the manager to Cabras. Al Heyman does whatever is best for the client and not for him. We're not tied to anyone, so we can fight Golovkin on Showtime or HBO. HBO is doing a lot of pay-per-view because of the budget. So, how much could a possible Golovkin-Lara fight cost, and would it be in the budget of HBO? Showtime definitely has the budget, but Golovkin has to fight on Showtime. I'm not sure what the budget is on HBO. Lara commands a lot of money, so I can't say the fight would be simple to make. We got to make more money than what he gets paid for in the past for Golovkin. Most importantly, Lara is looking to fight the best. Lara will make Golovkin think it'd be a great fight. So basically, his manager is saying, subliminally, I guess, inadvertently or not inadvertently, or basically insinuating that, he's going to have to fight on Showtime because HBO, unless it's on pay-per-view, is not going to have the money to pay the money that Lara's worth. Remember, didn't he make his first $1 million payday against Canelo on pay-per-view? And he's been making about $1 million or so since. But to his defense, let's get to the fight. To his defense, he is fighting. Okay, let's look at it first. Super welterweight world champion Erislandy, the American Dream Lara, 23-2 and 213 KOs, will take on former world champion Yuri Foreman, 34-2, 10 KOs in a world title showdown that headlines PBC Premier Boxing Champions on Spike Friday, January the 13th, in the Hialeah Park Racing and Casino in Miami. So, how can I say this? I can kind of. Okay, well let's start with the rankings. The WBA rankings at 154 pounds. Remember, he's the super champion. He's the super champion at 154. Floyd Mayweather was the super champion. Erislandy Lara was the world champion. Jack Calquet is the world champion. He's supposed to be taking on Demetrius Andrade. But follow me, because I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, well, why won't he fight Demetrius Andrade? We're going to talk about that later on in the video. So right now, it's 7 minutes into the video. We're going to be here for about, I guess, maybe about 14 minutes. So let's try to move as fast as we can. Okay, now when you're a champion, you have to fight somebody ranked in the top 15, whether it's the WBC, WBA, IBF, or WBO, in the sanctioning body's top 15. So somebody can be ranked number 5 in the WBC top 15, but number 16 in the WBA top 15. Then that means you can't fight him because he's not in the top 15. Or you have to get, it has to be a non-title fight, and you have to get some special exemption from the sanctioning body. And if they allow it, you'll most likely have to fight 2 mandatories. But anyway, let's go look at the rankings. I'm going to read off the names to you. Okay, Brian Carlos Castano, he is the interim champion. Demetrius Andrade is ranked number 2, but Demetrius Andrade is fighting Jack Calquet. All right, purse bid is already settled. He's fighting Jack Calquet for the WBA world title, the title that Erislandy Lara used to have when Floyd Mayweather was the super world. So basically, he's getting the little brother WBA title if he beats Jack Calquet. Michael Soro, number 3. Kanat Islam, number 4. Number 5, Brandon Cook. Number 6, Jarrett Swift Hurd, who just fought here in Philly. Number 7, Maurice Weber. Number 8, Tony Harrison. Number 9 is Yuri Foreman. Number 10, Erickson Lubin, who just fought this last weekend. Remember, right now, it's December the 16th. Liam Williams, Jason Rosario, Sergey Rabchenko, John Vera, Yoshihiro Kamagai. So of those names, for crying out loud, I would have liked to see Tony Harrison, but they're not going to put Tony Harrison in that type of fight just yet. He's that's not how Al Heyman works. Of course, I would like to see Jarrett Swift Hurd, but this fight's happening on the 13th. That Danny Garcia fight happened on the 12th. So you mean to tell me he would beat Jojo Dan and then 2 months later fight Erislandy Lara? It just doesn't work like that. Sergey Rabchenko lost to Tony Harrison. You got Yoshihiro Kamagai. That would be a better fight, in my opinion, than Yuri Foreman with his bad knees. Now, don't get me wrong. Yuri Foreman, let me see how many fights has he won straight. It's just that I guess maybe, he's friends with somebody and somebody did him a favor, or, I mean, Since he quit, I remember that fight. I covered that fight against Pawal Wallach in 2011. He's won. He took 2 years off. Basically, actually, he took 22 months off from when he quit on his stool in March of 2011. Then he came back to fight a guy by the name of Brandon Bois, or Bill, in January 23rd of 2013. So that's about 22 months, almost 2 years. Then he fought again 3 months later. He actually had 5 fights in 2013 before taking off 25 months, right? He fought this guy by the name of Javier Gomez in November of 2013. Then his next fight was against Linwood Dozier in December of 2015. So between 2013 and how did this guy get ranked? So then, after fighting in December of 2015, he fights one time in 2016. 2016 is almost over. The reason why I'm saying in 2016, against a Jason Davis, and that was in June. And his next fight is against Erislandy Lara on January the 13th, PBC on Spike 2017. So, he's had 2 lapses within 3 years. Or you might, he had 2 lapses in 3 years where he took 2 years or just a little less than 2 years off. And what's up with that bum knee? I mean, what can he do? Lara's going to dance circles around him. What can he do? Now, looking at the 154-pound division, I mean, really, what can he do? You know, so I guess, I mean, when you look at Erislandy Lara's record and his resume, you know, Venus Martirosyan, okay, Alfredo Angulo, Austin Trout, Canelo Alvarez, but then after Alvarez, remember, that was over 2 years ago. It was over 2 years ago. Ishe Smith, Delvin Rodriguez, Jan Zivek. Okay, the Venus Martirosyan fight was worth it. But remember, he only fought one time in 2016. And that was against Martirosyan. And then he's fighting Yuri Foreman. So looking at the 154-pound division, you know, of course, you would think, well, why not fight Jamal Charlo? Jamal Charlo is trained by Ronnie Shields. Ronnie Shields also trains Erislandy Lara. I told you that he can't fight Demetrius Andrade. Jamal Charlo is tied to fighting Charles Hatley very soon. Maybe it's going to be announced, I guess. I don't know. You know, he already fought Venus Martirosyan, and I told you they're not going to do. Tony Harrison is also advised by Al Heyman. They're not going to do that. They're just not going to do it. Liam Smith is not ranked by the WBA. You know, and then if you go down the list, Willie Nelson, you know, Diego, Chavez, the 154-pound division is not really as deep as you think it is. And of course, there's the potential guys that can move up to 154, but I just still think they could have did a little bit better than Yuri Foreman. Just my personal opinion. But it is what it is. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. All the links to my social media are right down below in the description box. Please subscribe.